Kellsey, and I am so excited to be with you today. We are making a tofu scramble, and this tofu scramble is kidney friendly, and it's from a very special cookbook put together by NephCure, which is an amazing organization that is partnering with patients like me, and they are focused on rare kidney diseases. And this is so important right now, especially because March is actually National Kidney Month. So we are making this tofu scramble to show you a great kidney-friendly breakfast option. Let's get started. First, what we're going to want to do is put some oil in our pan, and we'll put the pan on about low heat. Okay, and you can use different types of oils when you're making a kidney-friendly breakfast. Some great options would be avocado oil or olive oil, and these are really heart-healthy oil options to help protect your heart no matter if you have CKD or another rare kidney disease. And rare kidney diseases are a little bit different than chronic kidney disease. And so this month is really an opportunity to shine a spotlight on so many of those challenges faced by many patients and their loved ones that are affected by these conditions like FSGS, IgAN, and other rare protein spilling kidney diseases. And actually, these different rare kidney diseases are so much less common, and they also typically result from damage to the kidney's filtering units, causing protein and blood to leak into the urine. So when we talk about CKD and rare kidney diseases, sometimes it's helpful to talk about how we can use our diet and nutrition to help protect our heart and our kidneys with these different types of kidney disease. So we have a couple amazing components to our tofu scramble. I'm just shredding some of the spinach here to make it a little bit smaller. We have this beautiful spinach. We have red onion, green pepper, red pepper, and some garlic, which is going to add tons of flavor without adding too much sodium, because monitoring your sodium intake is really important with CKD and other rare kidney diseases. Most of the time, when you are trying to manage these different types of kidney disease, sometimes if you have too much sodium in your diet, it can make things worse and also make you not feel so great, right? So first, we're going to saute our spinach and get it wilted we used avocado oil today. And spinach is not off limits when you have CKD. That's a common misconception because a lot of fruits and vegetables are often demonized with CKD and other rare kidney diseases. And that's because long ago we used to think that a typical renal diet had to be very minimal in potassium and therefore fruits and veggies. Now we know that everyone's different. Everyone has different nutrient needs. Some people may need to limit potassium. Some people may not need to limit it. And so it totally depends on the person. And actually, research shows that including fruits and vegetables in your kidney-friendly diet can help to protect your kidneys. How cool is that, right? So we added our minced garlic here, and we're going to turn this up to medium heat to get it cooking a little bit more. And then we are actually going to add our red onion and peppers, and then our beautiful tofu here, which I'll show you exactly how to add it to the pan and make it a really nice texture that kind of mimics scrambled eggs. So this tofu scramble recipe is a great alternative to having eggs for breakfast, and it's a more plant-based option. So if you've been told to maybe follow a more plant-based diet or include plant-based options in your diet, tofu is a great one. All right, so we're adding all of our great veggies here. Look at that. That is beautiful. Okay, this is going to be delicious. And if you are planning on making this, just remember this is kind of a great base recipe from the NephCure cookbook that we are using, but you can add so many different veggies that you like and that fit within your kidney health goals. It doesn't have to be these exact ones, but just know that all of these are kidney friendly. All right, we are gonna turn that heat up a little bit, get it sizzling, and then we're gonna talk a little bit about seasonings too. A lot of questions that I get, and I see one here, is about how to make your food actually taste good with CKD and other rare kidney diseases when you can't use a lot of sodium. That's a tricky one, right? Because often salt adds so much flavor, but there's so many different things that we can add to bring out that flavor in our foods. So one great one is minced garlic. Another one is black pepper. And oftentimes black pepper can sometimes come off as a little spicy, but just adding a pinch here and there can really bring out the flavor of your dish. Another great one is garlic powder. That has a little kick to it too. Chili powder, cumin, even fresh herbs like cilantro, mint, basil, oregano can be great options. So sometimes to my tofu scrambles that I make, I will add a little bit of cilantro and maybe some avocado on the side to make it a little more Southwest inspired. And sometimes I'll sprinkle in some cumin in there. So feel free to play around with your dish and add whatever seasonings feel really good for you. All right, this is getting sizzly here. Beautiful. And the veggies don't need a ton of time to cook, usually a few minutes or so. And our heat is now on high because we are going to add our tofu soon. So we'll get that going. And then we're also going to add our black pepper. Perfect. And like I said, that's going to bring out the flavor of these great veggies. Now, it doesn't mean you can't add salt to your food when you have kidney disease, but what it means is be mindful of how much you're adding, measure it out, start with a pinch and taste it. That can really help you to stick to your sodium goals so you can manage your kidney health. And also, whenever it comes to making a tofu scramble, I always get questions about the type of tofu to use. And I see some questions here now. So someone said, what type of tofu do you use? Can I use silken? Can I use extra firm? That's a great question. So here we have extra firm, and you can see it's pretty firm, right? I cut it into a little fillet and it holds together perfectly. But you'll also see silken tofu in the store. Now this recipe and most tofu scramble recipes calls for firm or extra firm because it holds a nice crumble. Silken tofu can be great for softer foods like in smoothies, even soups, things like that, stews, curries. But the firm, extra firm tofu is great when you want it to hold that little bit of firmer texture. We also can use extra firm or firm tofu when making tofu nuggets. So like a plant-based take on chicken nuggets, right? And I mentioned the NephCure cookbook, and this is an amazing cookbook that can be found in the resources. And Patients Like Me is partnering with NephCure for National Kidney Month. And NephCure is actually a huge network of over 160 specialists that really help create a new reality where patients have a new access to treatments and all different types of support for their rare kidney disease, which is huge. And they support about 40,000 patients annually, which is, I mean, so much support for those with rare kidney diseases. They are also currently fundraising too to help support even more people. Oh, I see some more great questions here. We'll get to those in a minute. And when it comes to the fundraising goal for NephCure, they have a goal of $25,000 for Kidney Month. So they would love your support. And if you're looking to meet other people with these rare kidney diseases and get support from others on this journey for your kidney health, or maybe it's for a loved one, they have great support systems inside their community. And while rare kidney disease may be rare, right, across the world, across the country, the impact of everyone with a rare kidney disease is quite large. And together, you have so much more of an impact when you all come together. And that's what NephCure is really trying to do. So it's so exciting to have these great communities and to be able to get more support. Okay, look at this. Our veggies are looking amazing. Now, I mentioned that I was going to show you how to kind of transform the tofu into something that mimics an egg scramble, right? So I cut the tofu like this, but we're not going to cook it like this. So we're actually going to crumble it. So the best way to do it is take it in your hands and really just crumble it like that. And as you can see, we get these really beautiful crumbles in here that kind of mimic scrambled eggs. And that's the key, because a lot of times I find that people might want to try tofu, but they don't know how to prepare it to make it taste good and make it look appealing. So this is one of the best ways to do that. So if you or a loved one aren't really sure about if you want to try tofu or not for your kidney health, this is a great first recipe to start with. Beautiful. So we're just crumbling this. And again, you can find the full recipe inside the NephCure cookbook, which is an amazing resource. Their recipes are typically going to be sometimes lower in protein, lower in sodium. They're going to include some great fruits and vegetables. So they're really being mindful of all different things that you might need to be mindful of as well in your diet. Beautiful. All right. I see a question here about how to make it taste like scrambled eggs. That's a great question. So oftentimes if you were to say go out to a restaurant where they're offering a tofu scramble, you might notice that it tastes just like an egg scramble, and they're probably using some very special seasonings. So I'll tell you about my favorite one called nutritional yeast. And these are little gold flakes that are really just that, yeast, and they have B vitamins in them. So if you're missing out on B vitamins with your diet, that's a great way to get them. And it adds like a nutty, cheesy flavor. So almost like if you added a little bit of cheese to your eggs, but of course, it's not identical to cheese, but a nice plant-based way to add some flavor that's low sodium. So then we let this cook for a few minutes and it starts to get a little browned, and that's the best part. It gets a little browned, but it absorbs all that flavor from the veggies, from the black pepper, the garlic, and that's the great part about tofu. Whatever you cook it with, that is what it's going to taste like. So, for example, if you made a curry with tofu, it's going to taste like that beautiful sauce that's in your curry sauce, right? So, amazing. Yes, I start to see it browning. So you can actually eat it just as is, but it's up to you how you like the texture and how you want it to taste. Now, I like my tofu scramble just like this. So I am going to turn off the heat, let it cool down a little bit, and then I'll serve it with maybe some toast and maybe a side of fruit to make a really nice balanced meal for kidney disease. Tofu is actually ready to eat right out of the box or container. So there's no set time that you need to cook it for. So go off of your preference. I believe a good estimate of time could be about 5 to 7 minutes to get it nice and browned here with our veggies. And you could use some low sodium hot sauce to add flavor. I know a lot of people like to add hot sauce to their eggs. You could also use some low sodium ketchup as well. So look at this gorgeous tofu scramble here. Tons of veggies. We got spinach, garlic, peppers, onions, our tofu, which is a great plant-based protein option. And then we seasoned it with some black pepper. Feel free to make this recipe your own. And remember to find some other great kidney-friendly recipes inside the NephCure cookbook, as well as the Patients Like Me kidney disease community, where you can connect with others and find great tips and tricks, as well as recipes for supporting your kidney health. So thanks so much, and I hope you enjoy this beautiful, delicious recipe.